Lineage of Evil. Oh my goodness. So there is this video circulating the internet of, unfortunately, these black little girls singing hands on your knees, hands on your knees, hands on your knees, and a bunch of other lyrics. Now, this song, I believe is a Drake song. I had to look it up, and it's featuring Sexyy Red. And you can hear what seems to be the mother in the background singing the unedited version, we'll say, okay? And you have all these black girls singing it, and they dancing, and they having fun, and they, you know, doing hands on their knees and trying to twerk and stuff like that. It's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely just freaking vile stuff. Now, here's the thing. Many people in the comment section are deriding the mother. That's what they're doing. They're deriding the parent, talking about, oh, this is failed parenting. You know, the parents should be horrible. The parents have failed these children. Having said that, I listen, I will agree to an extent. Because I'm going to offer a different perspective. I agree to an extent that absolutely the parents aren't without fault. However, I will say that us as a collective have been groomed. That is exactly what has happened in this country. We have been groomed. So when you look at it from that perspective, knowing that someone has been groomed, a group of people have been groomed, you do not, as far as punish the victim. You punish the one who has been the predator. That's what you do. So in this context, this culture that has been presented in front of us, this behavior that has been applauded and shown to be good, and hey, this is great, and if you act like this and you do this, you can make a whole bunch of money, you can get fame. Black people did not create that. So then that made me think, well, who's the one that's grooming this community? Who's the one that's grooming the collective? And I looked into, well, who made this song? Who owns the song? And it's UMG. And I looked in, well, who owns UMG? Sure enough, it's one of Ben Shapiro's friends. That's who owns it. And shockingly enough, it is not an Ethiopian Jew. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine my shock where I found out, oh, it's a white person. That's it. That's interesting. I just, okay. I think I'm starting to see a pattern here. What I would ask of people is, yes, don't necessarily target the parents. Offer them guidance, all right? Try to assist them. Let them know, hey, this is probably not what you should be doing. I understand you may have grown up in this lifestyle and thinking this was cool, but you should want better for your children. Now, I will say that some people are gone. They just gone, okay? Because you have to understand, it's like a slave. That's what I would argue this is. It is a form of slavery. Not chattel slavery, but when it comes to indentured servitude, 100% this is exactly what this is. Because the only difference people would want to scream at me is that, oh, how can it be slavery, Lucas, if Colin Kaepernick is making millions? How can it be slavery, Lucas, if Sexyy Red is making millions? How can it be slavery if that's what... Well, you have to understand, what is that millions? What is that fame? All that merely is a form of what? Compensation. That's correct. And if you go far enough, there has always been compensation. Always has been compensation to the detriment of the collective. Always has been. Always. You can go from the house to the field, Negro. Compensation. However you want to, whatever form of currency that compensation is in, whether it's a warm bed, whether it's you going to the city untouched, whether it's you being able to stay up past a certain hours while everyone else had to be, in the house by then, whether all forms of compensation. The only difference now is that instead of, you going to the house, now they're giving you a check. But the outcome is still the same. You are being used as a tool against your own. That's what you're doing. The problem what we're seeing is that these individuals don't care. There is an issue, if you look in all the industries, there's issues like this. But predominantly in Hollywood, where they would offer black actors and actresses certain roles. Instead, what did you have? You had a sense of pride, a sense of unity that you had for yourself, where it's like, hey, I'm not going to debase myself by taking this role, even though it pays a significant amount of money. That pride is no longer present. And I would argue many black people, right, want to take credit for the culture. Oh, we run the culture. We own the culture. You don't own not a damn thing, pimpin'. We don't own not a damn thing, okay? They own the culture. What many of these Sambos do is that they promote it and make it popular. Those are two different things, okay? You're a salesman that works for the owner. That's all many of these fools are. You don't even own that product, but you push it. You push it onto your people, even though it is causing the death of many. It is causing a perverse culture that they are profiting off of. And that's how it's always been. It's been about money. It's been about greed. That's what it's been. You have to understand, when you're dealing with a lineage of evil, there is no such thing as a moral compass. For them, the moral compass does not exist because they will always be in the right. For you, well, then you see how once they pay you to perform like this, and that has a lasting impact on generation after generation, community after community, what do they blame you for? Look at you guys. Why do you guys act like that? Look at this culture. This is a toxic culture that they've embraced. This is horrible. All the time knowing that they're the ones that funded this culture. All the time knowing that they're the ones that created this culture. They created this. If you go far back, it was mainly talking about how to help the community in many cases. What were the tribulations going on in the community? They managed to take that and run with it off of a profit. Because before, it wasn't cool living in the ghetto. Now it's seen as a sense of pride. Well, you couldn't survive where I was. If you were from where I was from, you wouldn't be able to survive. They've managed to trick a lot of y'all into embracing a culture that's not even yours. That's their culture. They created this. And I would argue they created this to keep y'all asleep. You know the whole woke, stay woke? To keep you asleep. Because if now you've embraced a culture that will lead to you being vilified, lead to you being weaponized, and ultimately lead to your extinction and further subjugation and oppression, then what more is there? Now it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy now. Instead of you fighting this, saying, hey, I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't think that's cool. Now they got you embracing it, saying, yeah, I do that. Come mess with me. Absolutely. They have managed to have you have Stockholm syndrome. They have managed to have generations and generations and generations of black people embrace their culture that they created for us. They created it for us to keep us in the position we are currently now in on the cusp of extinction, whether it's political or financial. Think about that. That is a lineage of evil. And y'all got to wake up. You got to wake up. So when I see people blaming the parents, I understand. I get it. But here's the thing. I blame the parent as much as I blame the slave mother who tells her child to listen to the master. There is a certain level of conditioning that has gone on, that has taken place year after year after year after year after year. A certain level of conditioning. And they know this because they're the ones that created it. They're the ones that have created the structures and the powers and the media and many of these mediums that promote this. I would love to see Ben Shapiro or any of his ilk, all right, at these concerts. I would love to see any of his ilk of UMG, the CEO, at these concerts, singing this music, coming up with the lyrics. I would love to see that, absolutely. Because I guarantee he's not teaching his kids that. He's teaching his kids, hey, this is what they'll accept as a contract. You always want to make sure you have this in the contract. This is a clause that you have to have. You have to make sure you get at least a return of this amount. I guarantee that's what he's teaching them. Guarantee. So I would say it's slavery all over again. It's slavery all over again. And what they have done is limited us to regulate us. What can you do about the baby? What can you do about Sexyy Red? Did you create Sexyy Red? I had no part in Sexyy Red. What can you do about many of these other individuals? They have now, as far as castrated us as a collective, to enforce social consequences in many regards. Now it's like, now you're a parent, but now you can't even discipline your child. Now what? Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe Lucas Lucas got this all wrong. They're a great thing for the culture. The culture's doing great. This is awesome. This is just bad parenting. Just horrible parenting. Or if you have believed, you hit the nail on the head. Absolutely what's going on. These people are wicked. They're evil. And they've already come out and said as such. They pretty much said, hey, we don't care what's going on with you because we're making a profit. It is what it is. If you happen to disagree with this video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about Sexyy Red and the rest of them, especially these music companies. And feel free to share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. Black people did not create that.